Hey guys, Caleb with Ruffstuff Specialties. I'm R&D assistant. Today we got our IFS Toyota frame plate reinforcements. Talk about why you should buy them. They fit 86 to 95 and a half Toyota pickup frames, as well as some of the 4Runners on there. The factory frame has crinkle points in it, so that means when you put your leaf springs on there or your links where your shocks are mounted on the frame, it's going to be putting a lot of stress on the frame, and it's going to be trying to use those crinkle points as the weak point to start bending the frame. This is made out of 3/16 hot rolled P&O, so no worries about the frame bending once you weld these bad boys on there. The competitors all put holes, or they don't put any slots in there at all. The problem with the holes is when you go to mount up your shock towers or shock hoops, you try to put a mount right on that hole, and now there's not a space to weld, or it's an uneven gap. The problem with no slots or no holes is that when you do put that mount there, it's not actually attached to the frame, so you're only holding on to that 3/16 material, and you can start walking it back and forth until it cracks off. So we went ahead and put slots in there. That way when you weld it up, it's still nice and flush. You can go ahead and put your shock hoops or towers on there and don't have any issues with mounting. Keep it nice and strong. You'll be grabbing the outside of the frame as well as this 3/16, so you'll be like over 1/4 inch thick. We leave this little cutout there for your VIN number. We give you these 3 sleeves to go through the frame. They're 3 inches long with a 1/2 inch ID and a 3/4 inch OD, so you can drill a 3/4 inch hole in your frame and then use 1/2 inch bolts back in your steering box to go ahead and reinforce your frame. That way when you tighten those bolts, it doesn't crush your frame. You can drill your frame out and mount your steering box anywhere. That's why we didn't make this plate super shape specific. It can kind of just go anywhere on the frame and gives you enough weld surface, so you don't got to worry about the backside of the frame cracking when you're trying to steer those big tires and putting all that force on your steering box. You'd want this product if you're going to go ahead and put bigger tires, lift kit. Leaf springs, definitely. That drop box is going to be putting a lot of stress on the front of the frame. And then link suspension, definitely going to want that for the shock towers or shock hoops. That puts a lot of stress on the frame. So anytime you're going to bigger tires, more suspension travel, this is what you're going to want. The main benefit of this product is to keep your frame from cracking in any spot. Around the motor mounts wants to crack because of the vibration, so this will strengthen that up. If you mount your shocks just right on the outside of the outside of the frame is just around 1/8 inch thick, so it's not a whole lot that you're holding on to, putting all the stress of your link suspension and your shocks into it. It's just going to start walking on that 1/8 inch. So if you're going to straight axle your rig at all, this is something that you're going to want to purchase. The straight axle, you cut off all the IFS brackets, which gives a lot of structure to the frame, and then you're also moving the leverage points much farther forward on the frame with the leaf spring drop box and then with your shock towers. So here we have our frame and we have our frame plate. This is on the passenger side of the vehicle, so there's no steering box reinforcement here. We've strategically placed these slots so that they don't hit any of the holes in the frame. That way when you're welding, you don't just end up welding into a hole. And then you can see here where you have the cutout for your VIN number, and then this guy goes up and over to plate in the backside of the motor mount. So when you're lining it up, you're just going to want to get your motor mount cap lined up pretty well, and then just feel on the top of the frame and the bottom of the frame to get the spacing evenly as possible. And then you're going to need a bunch of either C-clamps or quick clamps to clamp it tight to the frame, and then start tacking it.
Thanks for watching this video. If you'd like to see more, click the subscribe button, hit the bell icon to get notifications, like this video, and comment if you have any questions. If you want to see other awesome videos, check out these.